We all make mistakes. Sometimes in life we pay for them, others we don't. In this situation, three UCLA college basketball freshmen will be paying the price for a penalty that could be very, very light in terms of how things could have turned out. Recently, three UCLA freshmen, LiAngelo Ball, Cody Riley, and Jalen Hill, were originally accused of stealing from a mall in China, and they were not prosecuted and didn't have to face the vicious communist laws of a 4 to 10 year sentence. The trio was just sentenced to house arrest. House arrest in a 6-star luxurious hotel in China that has a few people wondering what should be next for these three characters. We now know that the three UCLA Bruin players will be suspended indefinitely. Indefinitely can be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be next year. We'll have to wait and see what UCLA feels is right. One thing that I know and I think is right is that at least we know these three young American boys are home. Because, I mean, hey, who hasn't stole a 25-cent piece of candy from the corner store, thought about stealing a pair of socks out of Walmart, stolen the last cookie out of the cookie jar? Were you convicted for it? Were you prosecuted for it? No, maybe not. You might have guilt that lies behind you. But for these three young players, who knows what their future may hold? We know one name because of the title that it holds, this big baller brand, LiAngelo Ball. His character, was that a part of the reason why we had our chief official intervene and say, hey, can you handle the situation with these knuckleheads so we can bring them home? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, I think it's miraculous that President Trump stepped up and actually did what he had to do to bring the three young men home. Now, we have a lot of officials in the NCAA and across college basketball wondering, is this penalty enough? Should these young men be prosecuted here? Then we have others, members of the black community, who wonder, wow, hypocrisy is crazy. When you think about what happened with Ryan Lockett, we didn't hear of these things going on at all. But when you hear things with three African-American young men, it seems like they should be prosecuted and thrown in jail, that they should have been left in China. Everyone has an opinion, and it's all very interesting. But one thing that we know that is a fact is that these young men are home, and right now they do not know their fate for the UCLA Bruins. They did, however, speak this afternoon in a lengthy conversation apologizing for their errors, admitting their errors, letting them know that not only did they let their families down, their teammates down, and their countries down, that now they have to face a severe penalty of not knowing what their young futures and career may hold in college basketball and in their UCLA uniforms. They did, however, manage to thank President Trump for his efforts in getting them home, and they did thank China for not putting the rod to them and having them still there facing a 10-year stay. Check out some of this press conference. We won't play the entire 11-minute press conference, but check out a brief portion of it and hear what the three young men had to say today.
I want to start off by saying how embarrassed and ashamed I am for disappointing my family, my teammates, my coaches, and the entire UCLA community. I feel terrible, and I'm sorry to everybody who I've let down. With that being said, I take full responsibility for the mistake I have made, shoplifting. I know that this goes beyond me letting my school down, but I've let the entire country down. Before I thank everybody who worked so incredibly hard to help us return home safely, I want to thank the Chinese police and the government for taking care of us and treating us well during our time there. To President Trump and the United States government, thank you for taking the time to intervene on our behalf. We really appreciate you helping us out. Thank you to all the Pac-12 representatives for all of your time and support. Thank you, Dan Guerrero, for sticking by our sides and doing whatever you could to help us through this. Thank you, Chris Carlson, for taking the time out of your schedule to stay with us the entire time and guide us every step of the way. To Doug Erickson, thank you for also staying with us and giving us guidance with everything. To my teammates, thank you for being there for us throughout the process. You guys mean so much to me. To Coach Alford, Coach Tyus, Coach Broussard, Coach Grace, thank you for all of your support. You guys have always believed in me, not only as a basketball player, but also as a person. I'm sorry for letting you down. Lastly, to my family, my mom and dad, you guys have raised me to be smart and always make the right choices. You never left my side, and it hurts me the most that I disappointed and embarrassed you. To my younger brother, Ben, this is not the example that I want to set for you. But from here on out, I promise that I will be the best role model I can be for you to look up to. I've been looking forward to being a UCLA Bruin since I was young. The alumni here have set such a high standard for both academically and athletically. And as a UCLA student athlete, I'm disappointed in myself that I failed to live up to that. I can only hope that my actions, my words, my hard work in the week